Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The Taylorville Community Unit School District Number 3 Board of Education will hold a public hearing followed by its regular monthly meeting on Tuesday at the district office boardroom. The evening will begin at 6 p.m. with a public hearing on the amended budget, during which the board will present updates to the district's current financial plan. Immediately following, the board will conduct a public hearing on a bond resolution. During this session, the board will hear public comments and present its intent to issue up to $15 million in general obligation alternate bonds. The proposed bonds would be used to improve school sites and for the construction, renovation, and equipping of district buildings and facilities. After the hearings, the board will stay put for their regular monthly meeting. The agenda includes times for public visitors, a recognition of thank you notes from community members, and approval of minutes from recent meetings. The board will also review financial claims, the treasurer's report, and updates to district personnel. Stay tuned to Regional Radio News for updates following the conclusion of tonight's event. Kimmerer Village, the Assumption-based children's agency, is set to open its new child care center on June 16th. It's the exciting culmination of a long process full of financial and logistical challenges. The new location will enhance Kimmerer Village's work and their efforts to help youth in the need in the area. Executive Director Shalis Nagel says close collaboration with the town and community was key to making the child care center a reality.
The idea, although it had percolated around at Kimmerer Village for a while, Kimmerer Village hosted the mapping from Western Illinois University that Assumption was doing a reboot of several years ago. And part of that mapping is how to build and strengthen rural communities, which of course we are absolutely part of the Assumption community. One of the things that the town had on their wish list was a child care center. They had looked into that before, but there are a lot of hoops to go through in terms of DCFS licensing, fundraising, hiring, all the things that go into running a business like that. But really, as soon as Kimmerer Village heard that as a need, we thought we can do that. We can work with DCFS licensing. We do that all the time. We have a strong hiring system, and we were just thrilled to be able to do that.
The local need for childcare is high, and hardly a better way to illustrate that need. Nagel says that their childcare offerings in the new location are already fully booked.
So we're going to open with 2 rooms first. That's we are approved to open the additional 2 rooms, which is exciting. But we're going to open 2 so we can work any kinks out. There'll be an infant room and then a toddler room that's up to age 3. Those rooms are pretty well booked, but we will have 2 additional rooms open as soon as we can get the staff hired. Those interviews are in process, so we'll keep everyone updated on that. We had 19 applicants within the first hour for the spots that we have. We're opening with 12. Then the next step will be 24. We're very open to expansion. Just, working with kids is our mission, working with kids so that families can do what they need to do in terms of supporting their own families. That's really just what our whole mission is about.
Kimmerer Village is also preparing to be involved with this year's edition of Camp Carew, which is a set of faith-based camping trips for kids. The program has new leadership this year with a deep connection to the camp.
Camp Carew during the summer weeks offers Christian camping and week-long camps. We do have some mini camps. If you go to campcarew.org, click on campers and parents, and then click to your age group, you can see which age group your child might fit in. One of the best things about Camp Carew, in addition to the beautiful setting, is the staff. We have a new director this year, Tristan Meinert, but Tristan was a camper there, so he has really been connected to Camp Carew his whole life. He proposed to his fiance at camp. She was also a camper there. So it's really just a warm family setting, great experiences. The setting is beautiful, and we're just very excited to offer that for kids as well.
The organization is also looking ahead to its September golf tournament. Kimmerer Village uses the tournament as a way both to bring the community together while also spreading the word about their services.
We are taking early bird registrations for our golf tournament, which is down at Oak Terrace in Pana. It'll be September 5th. We have done the tournament for over 30 years, and we hear it's a golfer's golf tournament, right? Not a lot of gimmicky things. We do have 2 flights, so an A flight and a B flight, so we don't want anyone to be intimidated. Oak Terrace is beautiful. We offer a great lunch afterwards as part of the package, prizes. We also have prizes on the various holes. But, we want people to go out and enjoy golf, enjoy the beautiful day in September, but also learn more about our mission and just enjoy being together.
More information on Kimmerer Village is available at kimmerervillage.org and by visiting them on their Facebook page. Shalis Nagel appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. A small fire at the Litchfield McDonald's early Monday morning was quickly contained thanks to the fast response of local firefighters. Just after 7:15 a.m., crews were called to the restaurant at 2 Oren Lane after smoke was seen coming from an outlet. Firefighters found a small fire burning inside of a wall and were able to expose the area and then extinguish the flames using pressurized water extinguishers. An investigation determined that the fire was accidental, caused by a pressure washer that had been placed too close to the building itself. Heat from the washer's exhaust entered the wall, void, and ignited the nearby materials. No injuries were reported, and the restaurant was able to reopen after passing safety inspections. Fire Chief Adam Pinnock reminds businesses to keep heat-producing equipment at a safe distance from their structure during maintenance or cleaning of it. Pana Pride is highlighting their efforts to beautify the town they call home. The organization is working with the town and residents to clean front yards, demolish buildings that are no longer fit for use, and collect old furniture. Pana Pride is also preparing for a summer full of activities and looking for more people to get involved with their efforts. One way to improving the appearance of neighborhoods is through their annual Yard of the Month competition. Pana Pride President Melissa Miller says that the competition has run long enough now to cover every part of the town.
We have a group of 6 people, 6 judges who physically go around and look at designated streets in Pana. So as an example, the month of June, Sheridan Street was the month that was picked. This project actually started back in 2017, and they've actually done all the streets in Pana have been done once, and we've kind of restarted back over. Usually we go May through October, but because of the weather this year, kind of set things back a little bit. So they just did the first one. As I said, it was Sheridan Street. We have 6 judges that physically walk up and down that street, taking pictures and making decisions, kind of based on curb appeal, the yard's well kept, trees are well kept, shrubbery, colorful flowers, clean sidewalks.
There are a number of homes in Pana that are in need of demolition, and Pana Pride helps fund these efforts along with the town itself.
Yeah, so we have a demo committee. We work with the city to help demolish some of the houses in town that need to be brought down. So basically, the city takes care of the buying and paying for the inspections of the homes. So once they've acquired a home and done all that, then we cover the cost for the actual demolition of the house. We just took down a house on North Elm, and the money that we use to pay for that on our end comes from fundraisers and donations that are given to that specific project.
Pana Pride is now looking ahead to their summer of events. Their festivities ahead of Independence Day highlight their upcoming plans.
We will be helping at the Pana Fireworks. That will be held on July 3rd from 4:30 to 8:30 at the Pana Fairgrounds. There's going to be food trucks, bounce houses. I believe there's going to be a dunk tank and more. And then, of course, at dark will be the fireworks. From 4:30 to 8:30, Pain of Pride will be running the bounce houses. Those are free. Donations can be given towards the Pain of Fireworks while we're there. And then in July later, around the 26th, July 26th, will be the annual Popcorn Festival. And Pain of Pride will be helping with some of the children's games there. And I'll have more details on that next month when we meet. That's still getting finalized right now, what we're all doing.
If you live in Pana and want to get involved with Pana Pride, the organization would love to have you on. Meetings take place the second Thursday of every month, and members can be involved in any of the various committees and then make their voices heard.
The board meets around 5. The specific committees, they meet at 6, and then it's open to everyone at 6:30. If you would like to be on a specific committee, if you want to be on the demolition committee or the beautification committee or the events committee, you can come at 6 and participate in planning things. And then again at 6:30, it's open to the public. We meet at the Christian Church on 6th Street. Again, that's the second Thursday of every month. We're always looking for volunteers. We are actually looking for volunteers to work the bounce houses at the fireworks. So if that's something you think you might be interested in doing for a few hours that day, just let us know. You can also find us on Facebook.
More information on Pana Pride can be found at cityofpana.org/Pana Pride. Melissa Miller appeared as a guest on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by First National Bank of Taylorville.
Have you ever considered changing banks? Hi, I'm Mackenzie, Universal Banker at First National Bank in Taylorville. I talk to people all the time who say they've thought about switching banks, but they're not sure how to start. My answer, it's never been easier. At FNBT, our friendly staff will confidently answer your questions, making your decision to switch easier than ever. FNBT has been a part of this community for nearly 70 years, and we're not going anywhere. First, every time, that's more than a slogan, it's how we take care of people. Come see me, and I'll help make your switch simple. First National Bank in Taylorville, member FDIC.
The Illinois FFA convention began yesterday in Springfield. FFA delegates will consider adding a new state officer position. The Schuyler County Farm Bureau in West Central Illinois helped bring attention to the deer nuisance issue. It led to legislation being approved updating the deer removal permit process. Schuyler County Farm Bureau President Chris Vogler organized a meeting last August. It was attended by farmers, the IDNR, and state lawmakers in response to severe crop damage. This deer nuisance legislation now awaits the governor's signature. Another update from the Illinois FFA convention. The outgoing Illinois FFA president is reflecting on his year in office as his term nears an end. More from the RFD network at the Illinois FFA convention in Springfield. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
When it comes to organizing your life, Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville has some words of advice. Consider pre-planning your funeral. The death of a loved one can be a traumatic event in people's lives, and you can spare your family the burden of planning a funeral when they are grieving. Sutton Memorial Home knows that establishing a pre-arrangement assures that important decisions and your personal selection are made in advance and spares your family an additional burden at their time of loss. Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Caring is what they do best.
77-year-old Sherry Lee McCullough of Taylorville died on May 25th. A celebration of life will be held at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. And 82-year-old Glenn Neal of Taylorville died on May 29th. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Schaefer Perfetti and Asali Funeral Home. That'll do it for obituaries here today on your expanded local news. We'll turn to weather. Currently 57 degrees here in central Illinois. Expect a high of 77 and mostly sunny conditions. Tonight will stay clear with a low of around 57. For Wednesday, sunny, but with a high near 86. Gusts could be as high as 16 miles per hour. As we get into Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy and a low of 65. Again, beautiful weather for Thursday, a high of 86 and mostly sunny. And then comes the weekend, Friday into Saturday, chances of rain and thunderstorms on both those days, likely up to an inch of rain going to be had on Saturday. This will do it for your expanded local news here on WTIM, your information station.
Digital marketing has its place, but across rural America, there's still one medium that farmers and ranchers consistently rely on: ag radio. Farm broadcasters reach agricultural producers where cellular service drops and internet connections fail. When farmers are making critical decisions in the field,